Hey guys, Nick here, or Bearded Nick, as I've been known while visiting the podcast. Don't mind the COVID hair. The beard obviously was a pre-existing condition, as well as my weird awkwardness. I'm excited to be part of this for Mullen Zane, and hopefully I don't bum everyone out too much with my songs, which some might think are what actually drove Elliott Smith to kill himself. Let's get excited! Going to talk about these songs here. The first song is called Eleanor Number 3. I wrote it about my daughter around the ending, or the crescendo, I should say. The ending of the song was written almost immediately after my daughter was born in March of 2013. Within the first week of her being home, and it sat with me for about 2 years. Being unused, I couldn't, like, the way I write songs is sometimes it all comes right away, sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes I'll have an idea that I think I could build into a whole song, and then sometimes those ideas just don't move, and it end up switching chords and riffs and all that around and changing melodies constantly if I can't let the song go for whatever reason, or the snippet of the song. And it didn't fit in anything else I had at the time, and it wasn't enough to be its own song, so I started, like I said, sandwiching it into other things, and then around 2015, or near the end of 2015, about 2 years later, it started to take shape, and I came up with the first half of it, and it started to feel more like a complete song. So, it's shape-shifted a little since then, but it's pretty much been the same, intact lyrics wise. Specifically, some music has changed here and there, but the ending, like I said, has been the way it's been since I wrote it. The lyrics are pretty straightforward, but the theme is basically I have this small little person that I'm taking care of, and they depend on me for life and feeding them and all that, but it's also just like dealing with the realization that I'll fail her at some point, be it emotionally or not meeting her physical needs or whatever. And certain things like heartache and disappointments are going to be unavoidable as human beings on this planet. And that's pretty much about it. The second song I wrote back, it's called "A God Unknown," "To a God Unknown," and I wrote that back in 2014. It was, and it's pretty much existed the way that it's presented here. It was written about my divorce, and or became a divorce at the time. I was in the middle of trying to save a failing marriage when I began writing it, and then the marriage failed, and we separated and all that. And I just started writing songs that were more personal and journal-like at the time. And I ended up walking away from it for a while, especially after, I started seeing other people, and it was just always kind of weird that I was playing songs about my ex-wife all the time. So I didn't play it for a really long time, and I haven't been playing it for a pretty long time. Kind of, I walked away from it, and also because people would say it was just too sad. But fuck them, right? It's one of my longest songs, for sure, and which I think is a bigger dig against it than it being too sad. It's recently popping into my head a lot this month, as I've recently been dumped from a long relationship. So I've kind of repurposed it to fit that narrative more than when it was about divorce. Now it's kind of taken on this different feel in my brain, where it's still about heartbreak and fear of being alone, or not being enough for anyone. And if there is indeed a creator, then why have I been made to be this person who can't make things work on a relationship level? And am I truly meant to be alone? And if so, then why do I have this constant nagging feeling since I was like 12 years old to not be alone? Or why, after 37 years and 3 long-term relationships later, that span over pretty much from the time I turned 19 until now, it's almost 20 years of being between these 3 people, and can't get it right. And mixed with a touch of what am I doing wrong, and God forbid that I teach it to my daughter. So sad stuff. And yeah, but that's about it. Hopefully you guys can appreciate these for what they are. Obviously not a professional, at least I don't think of myself as, more someone who has a hobby that likes sharing it. Thanks again to Mullen Zane for asking me to do this. If you're interested, you can find me on Bandcamp and on Facebook by searching Feralia. That's Feralia. And follow it and get some jams, yo! So until I return to the podcast to give stories about bullshit or whatever, stay safe. Try to get haircuts. Don't really know what else to say. And yeah, hopefully you guys like them. All right. Bye.
It's only
unknown. Is he even there? Deep down inside, I feel that he just doesn't care. Got my arms wrapped around your ghost. Your grip loosens every time. Is the person I fell in love with still there? Deep down inside, I feel that she's never real. My pain falls atop my daughter's head. She smiles confused by my tears. She's unaware of all my fears. Deep down inside, I feel that she is doomed to be unhappy, just like me. I hope to God you're nothing like me. My sweet Eleanor.